Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Matt Bell. I head up the Strategic Advisory business at Colliers, and it's my pleasure to present Between the Heart and the Soul today on our partnership with New Sydney Waterfront on the program of analytics and insights that we have worked with the New Sydney Waterfront over the last 12 months and what's coming up. A little over 12 months ago, New Sydney Waterfront partnered with Colliers to provide insights around footfall and visitation, spending to support decision-making and support the growth, really, of the improvement district across the whole precinct. You can see up there how we define the precinct and the sub-precincts that fit within that. The local team works closely with our retail analytics experts in the UK who have had significant experience in delivering these data insights to investment and improvement districts globally. At a high level, members receive monthly insights around visitor numbers, movement and spend. Twice a year we conduct consumer surveys on the ground to supplement that information, and we have a program of advanced analytics that allows us to detail or deep dive into a lot more detail into specific questions raised by our members. Members get these insights at an overall precinct level as well as a sub-precinct level. Why, you might ask? Why do we need this and how does it help? Well, these are the sort of questions that we hope to help members and government with in terms of answering. Where are the visitors coming from? And as Jace pointed out before, where are they not coming from? An important question. Why are they coming? Is it work? Is it leisure? Is it international visitors? Is it domestic tourists? How often do they come and how much do they spend and where do they spend that and across what sectors? Answering these questions helps members across a wide range of industries make decisions around development and investment and operations and management, and it helps provide government with evidence around implementation of development of policy. Data is at the heart of everything we do. It ranges from the very large and complex data sets and very detailed data sets around credit and debit card transactions that we use from MasterCard. There's mobility data from mobile phone providers. There is quite qualitative data that we get from our biannual consumer surveys. And there's also very much high-level data around projections of economic growth, household expenditure, tourist numbers. They all feed into the models that output a wide range of insights and analytics for our members and partners. What have we delivered over the last 12 months? Well, really, I think we can bucket it into three. There's those regular insights reports that I mentioned, and I'll delve into a little bit more in the next slide. The biannual consumer surveys, which we conduct in November and May each year, that they monitor visitor behaviour around spending, overall satisfaction, providing information on who is visiting, the Net Promoter Score or the overall satisfaction rating, what sort of visitation we're getting between precincts, and of course spend. And this supplements the more granular transaction and mobility data that we have from other sources. In terms of advanced analytics, which is really an opportunity to dive deeper into the specific questions in detail that we get. In 2023, we conducted a detailed analysis of how Vivid impacted the precinct in terms of visitation and spend, as well as a detailed analysis of across the whole precinct of turnover and what that might look like in the future, and I'll delve a bit more into that in a couple of slides. In terms of the monthly outputs that members get, the performance bulletins focus on visitor volumes, visitor spend, cross-precinct visitation, flight and hotel bookings. We get month-on-month changes, and we also benchmark what those levels look like against pre-COVID 2019 levels, as well as against other precincts like Sydney CBD and Melbourne Fed Square. I'll spend a little bit more time on showcasing one of the advanced analytics projects that the team worked on and delivered to New Sydney Waterfront. Jace and New Sydney Waterfront wanted a data-driven approach to understand the current and, potential future turnover of the precinct as a whole and for the sub-precincts under a range of future scenarios. For us, this meant estimating current turnover levels, which is already done as part of the monthly monitoring and the ongoing program, based on MasterCard transaction and mobility data, but also supplementing this with a forward view across a range of drivers that are going to really push ahead turnover in the long term. Economic growth, population growth, tourism numbers, infrastructure development and new developments, as well as sort of forecast household expenditure and consumption. Estimated total turnover for the whole improvement district was 4.1 billion in FY23 from nearly 80 million visits over the 12 months. This analysis also allows it to be broken down very granularly by type of visitor to the precinct, domestic, international tourist, resident or worker, the reasons behind the visit, their spend levels, and sub-precinct breakdowns that we were able to share with members. The central case for a 10-year growth in overall turnover under our central case of the underlying drivers around population growth, etc., was for that turnover to grow by 21% to 5.4 billion over 10 years. The model allowed us to create upside and downside scenarios, not surprisingly based on whatever view you'd like to take about those underlying drivers. Turnover was estimated to be 4.7 million in the prudent case, up to about 6.2 billion I should say, if I said million, I mean billion, in the upside case. And what we've seen in other improvement districts around the world is that this, the improvement district is what can help us push towards those upside rather than the downside of the central case, by increasing things like tourism numbers or per visit expenditure or delivering additional infrastructure. That is, the improvement district model has the potential to influence where we end up in terms of that chart up there. This analysis was done on an as-is basis with regard to the size and the makeup of the precinct. But over the next 10 years, there's a huge amount of plan development that Jay's talked about across the precinct that will add to turnover in a step level. W Hotel, Harbourside, Sydney Fish Market Development, etc. It goes on. We estimate that these developments could add another 0.9 billion or 17% to the central case turnover for the district. And obviously, you can see from the chart there where those step-ups happen, and there's potential for further infrastructure and development to be fitted into this model to have an even better outcome over the latter half of that forecast period. What's ahead for the next 12 months? Obviously, the regular insights reports that we'll continue delivering to members in the monthly bulletin. There are 2 more consumer surveys scheduled for November next month and May, which we can alter a few of the questions in terms of trying to deliver insights around the latest things that are happening around events or new developments. And on the advanced analytics side, there's 2 elements that we're going to be focusing on: a comprehensive analysis of all the waterfront events over a 6-month period in 2023 to identify which ones drove spend and or visitation, so we can have a good view about that can feed in to inform future event strategies for the improvement district. The second element is some detailed catchment modelling, which will focus on where visitors are coming from and, more importantly, where they're not coming from. Let's break those down into really detailed and granular cohorts that we can use to inform all the strategies around not just placemaking and events, but development and asset management as well. Both these pieces will be launched at our March 24 summit. Thank you for your time. It's been our pleasure to partner with New Sydney Waterfront to provide analytics, as Jay just mentioned, and really, hopefully, provide insights and data into what was previously a dark precinct in terms of data and insights to help members, but also to help inform government in terms of progressing this forward. Thanks very much.